There you go. We here again. What's going
Yes,
on, Jeannie? How you doing today?
I am wonderful, Nathaniel. And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, definitely. Day is good.
Okay.
I'm here. Tapping in. See who's going to tapping into me. The floor is open for people comments and statements and things like nature. Definitely looking forward to this great day. Our
Yes,
topic today for I am the dad, Nathaniel Evans, your host, and Gino Muhammad, your co-host, is actually protecting life is leadership, right? Actually, I just came with this concept, but I believe it's really essential in this time because life is not really being cultivated in this time period as it's supposed to be.
that's
Right?
right.
We're cultivating a lot of things that's outside of life, and the things that we're cultivating are the things that we make ourselves. So the money, we make the money through the trees. We put the trees in the factory, and we conjure up this concept of currency. And then this concept of currency that we create from the trees actually become more powerful and influential in our lives than actually our lives ourselves or the people that's in our inner circles, right? Our loved ones, our sons, our daughters, our sisters, our brothers, our aunts, our uncles, we actually discard them for this thing that we call currency, which is supposed to be the tool that we use to move life going forward, right?
Yes,
And we ride these vehicles, we call them cars. We could have called them anything in the world, but we call them cars. That's the name we put to them, right? And we ride these vehicles from one destination to the next destination, but we don't ride the vehicle of life of the people that is in our world, that comes into our world as gifts, right? I've been in probably like two memorial services, in the last month, and people are talking about people being gifts, right? This person was a gift, this person did this in their life, they had a great golden heart, things of that nature.
hmm,
But how many of those people that's in that casket was actually told by the people that's at the memorial services that actually they were a gift in their lives, right?
yes,
Cultivated them as a gift, showed them that they're a gift, right? And was willing to actually provide them the support they needed at the time in their lives that was required for them.
yes,
People need you. They don't need you. A lot of people think people need you when they on top of the world, when they're doing good,
yes. That is so true.
right? But they need you when they back us against the wall, when they actually lost their momentum or they lost their insight, or things are
Yes,
not as clear as they used to be, or they take a great loss in a land that they never thought they was going to experience, like
yes,
losing your only son or losing your only daughter, right? Those experiences that you'll never conjure up. You'll never say, you know what, tomorrow my daughter might not be here. But you never really think about that, even though it could be a reality, because we don't control life or death, right? But we
yes.
never come to that notion that today might be the day that I no longer see my loved ones ever again,
Wow, wow, wow.
right? So
Nathaniel,
us, yeah,
you are speaking so much truth there. You are speaking so much truth. And I can see that you have really given this topic a great deal of thought and that you've been reflecting on it because everything you're saying is so true. And let me introduce myself. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your global happiness expert, and I am the co host with Nathaniel here for I Am the Donna. And we really enjoy being able to bring you these topics on leadership. And as I said, Nathaniel always gives great thought and insight into these topics. So today's topic is about security, and security goes a whole lot deeper than we think maybe on the subject. So we want to just go and just dig into talking about security in leadership. And what you were saying, Nathaniel, is so powerful because we sometimes don't give a great deal of thought to the people that are in our lives and the security that they bring into our lives and the security that we give them. So this topic of
Hmm.
it is a deep subject. So thank you for this topic.
Yeah, so I didn't introduce myself because I just actually got into,
I know that's what I'm saying.
topic, right?
You just interest you're
Yeah, it
into
just
it.
grabbed me, but I'm Nathaniel Evans, podcast host. I'm a data focused on leadership, but also redemption, right? Because we're in a space where leaders have to see that they have to redeem themselves, right? They have to come out of their falls, out of holes that they place themselves in, or they allow other people to place themselves in. And they have to be the greatest asset in the world, right? Not attaching yourself to anything in the world that's going to be greater than you, right? Unless it's your power that actually instills you with more power, with more insight, with more wisdom, with more compassion and love, right? These are the things you attach yourself to. But other things like your cars and your money and houses and stuff like that, those are things that's at the end of the day is of little or no consequence, right? Because we know we can't take them with us, but also we know that once we give power to those things disempower us. We become invaluable only in our own lives because of the things that we associate our lives to and feel that those things are way more important than what we are.
And you know what, Nathaniel, sometimes those things that we attach ourselves to are the very things will lead to our demise and our death. Sometimes we get so caught up in things that we will do anything to gain those things. And where it in the Bible it says, and you can probably tell me where it is and quote it exactly, but it says a man would gain the whole world but lose his
Lose
soul.
his soul. Say, what is the point of a man gaining the whole world and then lose his whole soul? Like, what is that? It talks about things as far as which is really bizarre in our times. But it says things like when a man loses his freedom, right? He will give all his possessions to get his freedom back,
Mm,
right? But then he will lose his freedom for things. And those same
right,
things that
right.
he loses freedom for, he's willing to exchange those things to get his freedom back,
Isn't that
right?
something? And see, and that's so true. And then that's when you realize that really these things are really not that what is important in your life. And when
That's
we
right.
talk about security, the same with happiness, because I always, talk about happiness coming from within, and it's the same thing with security, feeling secure.
Mm-hmm.
Security, and we think of security as and being able to guard things, or being able to make sure that nothing is stolen, or make sure that no life is taken, or whatever. But when you go to security from an inward standpoint and understand what security is and what will give
Mm.
security, what gives us that inner security, that knowing that it's not the car that I drive
Yeah.
that makes me who I am. It's not the house that I live in. I'm secure within myself, and I have confidence within myself without these outside trappings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was reading a book not too long ago. Um, what's that? Eckhart Tolle, right? He's actually a spiritual leader. And he actually said something that was really profound about the things that we have in our lives. He said, you know, you got this nice car, whatever this car is, you think it's a nice car because you actually went and bought it, right? So you think this car is essential. He said, but how many people actually stand there and take in the car, right? Like just block everything out and just look at the car and appreciate the car for what it is, what it
Mm,
does for their lives. Where does it take them, right? How does it allow you and your family to go on trips, things of that nature, right? Before you get in your car, do you pray and say, yo, my Lord, make sure this car get me to where I need to go. You know, make sure me and my family are safe and secure in this car. Let us know if something's going on with this car before we actually get into an accident with this car, right? And appreciate the energy that the car represents in your life because the car is an energy source, right? So
yes,
when we look, nothing is solid. Everything that we touch, like even this shirt, we think this shirt is solid because we see it as a solid entity. But this shirt is moving, right? It has all type of energies and it's moving, right? The car's always moving. Even when it's not moving, it's always moving because it's a life force. It's an
right.
energy source that we use for our own purposes, our own development, right? So do we really appreciate what the car is in our lives, right? And
Yes,
what it means to our overall functionality in the world. Do we do that?
right, right. And Nathaniel, understanding that, you know, all cars basically are the same as far as why they run, you know, and why they run at optimum uh uh
Capacity.
ability to right,
Yeah.
you know, basically. So we put a lot of emphasis on the car, maybe is it a Mercedes? But if it's a Mercedes that has not been given the proper upkeep, it's not going to give us any more service than my little Honda that I really make sure that oil is changed in. I make sure
Mm-hmm.
that I do all the upkeep on it. So do we look at the things that we have, as you said, as an extension of where we are in our trying to reach a certain goal? Do we give it the
Yeah.
care that we
A lot of times we don't. I actually learned that from watching a horrific reality actually took place with GM Motors. GM Motor a couple of years ago actually produced a batch of cars that was affected. And the cars, while you was on the road, the engine would lock up, right? So you
okay?
wouldn't be able to use the steering wheel, the brakes, nothing. You're just in a flying coffin. Basically, that's basically how they said it. And the CEO at the time, which was a white woman, I forgot her name, she said when she was at the congregational hearing, testifying as far as the deaths that was associated and the harm that was associated with the car. She said we knew that the car was defective, but if we would have stopped the production of the car, we would have went bankrupt as a company.
Wow. Wow.
So instead of stopping the production of the car, we released the cars with the faults at hand and said that we would just have to pay out the life, we basically have to pay out the insurance, the lawsuits and stuff like that, that takes place from the detriments that this car is going to cause in the world.
Wow.
And many people lost their lives in this car.
Wow.
People got
See,
injured.
putting more emphasis on money. And
Yep.
and that's so is that, and I have to say from that story, I guess when you look at security, that's their security. I mean, money, that in this society, that's what security is equated,
Yeah.
regardless of who it harms, regardless of
Yeah. Because you're not going to go buy that GM car that's affected if you work for the company, right? If you were
right,
the CEO of the company or you the president of the company, you're not gonna buy the GM car and send it to your granddaughter overseas, right?
Right.
You're not gonna give it to your son as a gift for graduation because you understand that the car is faulty, right? So you're going to actually go to Mercedes Benz or BMW or Tesla, right? And you're going to give these gifts to your loved ones and stuff like that because you know that this car itself, you know what I'm saying, is not going to preserve and increase life as it is supposed to.
Do you ever wonder, Nathaniel? And sometimes I think about this, people that have that kind of mindset. Now look at this lady, as you say, and I know who you're talking about. I just can't recall her name, but she knew this. All of her engineers probably knew this,
That's right.
and yet they allowed this to go forth. Do you ever wonder how people like that are able to sleep at night, are able to
Mm.
function, you know, able to go through
It,
the day
it probably
and
takes some sleepy time tea. Might take some sleepy time tea, right? Or
ah, I take
take a
them
sleeping
sleeping
pill.
pills.
Yeah, take some sleeping pills, right? And that actually that will
Take
actually
pills to go
assist
to
them.
sleep and then take some
Yeah,
pills to wake up.
yeah, because it's a very conscientious thing why these things happen, and we think that these things don't have lifelong effects, right? On our children, I might hear these stories and stuff like that. They might say, "Your life has no value. Life has no meaning." Look what this person did in their position, right? They was able to allow life to be sacrificed to preserve a company, right? To make sure that this company does not go underfoot. And today, GM is still here, right? They paid out millions of dollars in lawsuits, right? With people that got injured, you know what I'm saying, because of something they actually knew was going to take place. But at the end of the day, they're still a company. They're still on the New York City Stock Exchange, right? They
Yes,
still having board meetings and bonuses and things of that nature because they was able to get over that crisis because they was able to sacrifice so many lives. Even if they sacrifice one life, that is so many lives because that life is still connected to the interconnectedness of life itself, right? So you just can't sacrifice one life and say that that life that was sacrificed is meaningless, right? We
yes,
have a responsibility in this society to preserve the lives of others, especially when we see that a trap is set. It's a scripture in the Bible that says, surely it is vain to place a net in the sight of a bird, right? The
mm,
bird is not going to go inside of the net. Once
mm.
the birds see you place the net on the ground, it don't know what the net is, but it knows that it's not a part of the true infrastructure. So it's not going to land there on that net. You have to place that net there when a bird is nowhere around. And then the bird won't
Okay.
see the difference. But if you place it in front of it, it's gonna be like, oh no, nah, I ain't going over there. Right, this don't look right to me. I'm gonna fly somewhere else. I'm gonna fly across the street, and I'm not gonna stay here, right?
Right.
So it shows like we us as people, we have trust inside of these entities, these different systems that's created. We put our trust in it, our security in it. We believe that they have done all they could do to preserve us. You know what I'm saying, by the creation of this thing, right? It's like I was looking at an article the other day. A woman actually developed breast cancer because she was using some healthcare products, and the healthcare products actually had cancer. You know,
Wow.
yeah, have
She's
some
trying
cancer.
to she's trying to preserve her life, and yet because of what's in there is taking her life. And
Yeah.
you saying protecting life is leadership. Protecting life
Mm-hmm.
is leadership. And so, and I'm thinking, Nathaniel, about how broad that is when we talk about life, because a lot of times people don't even consider the life of the animals, the life of plants, the life of other human beings, the value in all of that, and how we're all interconnected,
Mm.
and how protecting that life is. showing uh, leadership. And what is leadership? You know, how do you define leadership, Nathaniel, when you talk about leadership? When you say that,
Mm.
what do you see it as in the overall sense of where we are in today's society? Leadership.
I believe leadership is basically a direct correlation to how we're protected in the world itself, how the universe protects us, right? How it gives us warning, how it gives us food and things to drink, how it preserves us with the sun, and things of that nature, how it brings in a cool breeze. Like I was watching a Jet Li movie where he was in the field, he was working mad hard, and everybody else, they were working as hard as he was. But when a breeze came through, they stopped and enjoyed the breeze. But he kept working through the breeze. He kept working through the breeze, and he had to learn, right, to appreciate the life forces that come to him. To give
Oh,
him some type of
wow.
reprieve, to give him some reprieve from him working so hard. Now something's gonna come and assist you and bring down your temperature, right? Relax your mind, relax your body, relax your spirit. Leadership is a thing of relaxation. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to get a full body massage. You know what I'm saying? Or sitting in a massage chair, right? Or having people, come to you and ask you, about life itself and appreciating their life force so you can also appreciate their life force. I believe like leadership is one and the same from one entity to the next. It is a purpose to increase and to secure, what I'm saying, the things that surround us. Whatever comes into our midst, we are responsible. Leadership is a thing of responsibility, of knowing
Wow.
that you have power in the world and that you're using your power to do good, right? I was looking at an article the other day. It was talking about R. Kelly, and it was saying that R. Kelly had $28,000 in his prison bank account. And he done got hit with so many uppercuts, he don't even know which way is going up, right? And civil suits, he had to pay out all these different lawyers, these court fees and things of that nature. And before this atrocity, what I'm saying, or catastrophe, we want to call it, took place in his life, he was a millionaire, right? And now he had $28,000 in his prison bank account, and the lawyers actually put a petition and against that money and actually extracted that money out of his bank account
Oh,
and left
wow. Really?
and and left him with $500. Right. So here we go, a man who was a multi-millionaire who actually
Wow.
sold classics after classics after classics in music. And in his leadership role, instead of building up other leaders, instead of bringing in new artists, what I'm saying? Instead of teaching our youth on controlling their voice or basically tapping into creativity and actually creating a new facet for their lives. He went throughout the land, what I'm saying, abusing other people with his power, which he used as money, right? And his
Mm-hmm.
legacy, right? And now when we look back at it, his leadership was devoted to the point where he actually lost his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Losing his life because he basically took advantage of the gifts of leadership that was actually provided for him in the world. And
Wow.
now we have to sit back and watch this thing unfold against a person that we all enjoyed his music. You know, his music was in clubs, we went to his concerts, we sung along with the songs, and now he's tainted.
Yes. Isn't, and that you always talk about, and I talk also about karma and what we put out there. And again, I think this, because I look at what we're talking about today as far as security and the things that we put out. Are we securing, by what we put out, are we securing our future and our legacy? When you talk about R.
Mm,
Kelly, look at how that was just squandered. how all of that was just squandered. And I think by, I may be wrong, ego, you know, thinking that in a sense you're above what will come back to you. Not even giving it a thought. I don't
Yeah,
think people even think about what they're doing, how it is going to come back and
yeah,
affect them.
yeah. You know, my daughter, well, I got an oldest daughter, you know, and she's a farmer. She's a black farmer. She's very gifted, very insightful when it comes to agriculture and preserving animals and things of that nature. And one day we was talking and she gave me this story, right?
Hmm.
And she said one day they was in the field, you know, and they was, you know, cultivating the land or whatever. And one of her co-workers had killed the butterfly, right?
Oh no, that oh
So so,
that hurts me,
so
Nathaniel.
she said everybody that was there stopped and said, "You're a murderer," right? It was just so profound. And people,
Oh,
and he was like, "It's only a butterfly."
oh,
And they was like, "No, it's not only a butterfly. It's a life source that's in the land, and you just took it upon yourself because you had the power to do so, just to take that butterfly life." Instead of allowing that butterfly to continue on in his path, in his journey into his natural death, you believe that you had a right, you know what I'm saying, just to just take his life like that. And
wow. See,
that
that angers me, Nathaniel. I know that I can appreciate how those people there felt. A butterfly. I mean, to me, and butterflies are endangered species. They are endangered, and to take another life like that. Oh, Regina is here. Regina, thank you for joining us, Regina. Thank you so much.
that's right. It's good to see you.
It's
You
always
know,
good to see Regina.
yeah, she has a lot of great things going on in her life. You
She's a
know,
great person.
hmm
She's a great person. Uh and
yeah,
yeah, Nathaniel, I don't
yeah.
blame
Just
those
that
people.
story by itself, you know, that thing about the butterfly, you know, it shows how you can have power like R. Kelly and like other men and women, and actually use that power to stomp somebody out, right? To take
Yes.
advantage of somebody else's life. It just shows you when you misuse your power, right? Um, that other
Yeah.
people will be harmed by that, but you will also be harmed because he never thought, you know what I'm saying, that people would reach out to him like that. They would actually, you know, condemn him like that and call him names and things of that nature. He just thought like it was just a simple thing, you know what I'm saying, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's not. And when we understand, we're doing great, Regina. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. I am doing great. I am doing great. I think I can speak for Nathaniel.
That's
He's,
right. That's right. We are
but
both doing great.
you know, Nathan, that is a prime example of not understanding how this system works and not understanding the function of a simple butterfly and why that butterfly is here and how it contributes
Hmm.
our life.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We're
Because yeah,
interconnected.
we all interconnected. We all interconnected. So when you have this power as a leader, when you actually break through that barrier that you're seeking, because you got millions of people that's on LinkedIn, right? Millions of people, right? And they all got a story, they all got a testament. You know, most of them have some type of funnel platform that they're using to attract other people, you know what I'm saying, into their world, to buy into their goals, to buy into their vision, you know, into their insights, so they can become successful. So they become rich, you know, they can be the great entrepreneur in a family structure and things of that nature. And hopefully when they actually break through this barrier that they're seeking, right? That they do not harm their friends, that they do not harm their family members, and they do not go out into the land and harm other people. Because statistically, we can see that there are people that's in the world that are not doing so good, or they're not doing as good as they want to. So you'll say, you know what, man, let me give you $50,000, let me give you $100,000, and allow me to have my way with you. Allow me to do whatever I want to do for
Mm.
you for this $50,000, for this $100,000. And then after I finish with you, you taint it. I done brought a reality into your world that you never really considered. And now you're only left with this $100,000. And now you're saying, okay, what am I going to do with this $100,000? I done actually gave away, you know what I'm saying, the value of my life. You know what I mean? I done actually decrease myself on a high level. So what can I do to replace that decrease? Right? Oh, I'm gonna go buy a house. I'm gonna go buy a car. Right? I'm gonna go buy me a Louis Vuitton bag. I'm gonna go buy me some Gucci glasses. Right? I'm gonna
Mm.
do. I'm gonna go get these external things. You know what I'm saying? Because I done actually robbed myself of myself by giving away myself for this thing or for that thing. So now I got to find a way to replace it. I got to try to
Yes.
instill that, you know what I'm saying, that thing that I just said that was meaningless, right? I just said my body was meaningless. I just said my integrity was meaningless, right? And I just gave it away. And after I gave it away, I feel that depletion. And I'm saying, what can I get in the world? What can I go out and buy in the world that's going to replace it?
I know. And and I see this so many times with our young rappers. I see this
Mm,
where it has where things have become so important that they're actually selling their souls for these things that this world has told us that are so important in order for us to be happy. Keisha, Keisha is in the house. Thank you for being
I
here
see, Keisha.
with us, Keisha. I had a wonderful interview with Keisha last
Definitely.
week. Yes, we had a
Hmm.
we had a
Very
room.
insightful, very powerful.
Oh, she
And she's
is.
doing some good work. One of her clients actually reached out to me on YouTube and was telling me that Keisha is doing some profound things in her life. Keisha is
Yes.
her coach. And she um, really enjoys Keisha. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So that was really good to see. I actually shared that with her because I want her to see that her work, you know what I mean, is essential and is actually being recognized, right? And that's what we need to do for one another is actually provide security for the lives of one another. Even when
Yes.
we don't see ourselves what our work is doing, when others that's in our circle see what we're doing, or they get a whiff of it, to share it back and say, "Yo, this is what you're doing. This is the work that you're doing. This is how it's resonating in the world. This came across my page, or somebody was talking to me about you when I was on a Zoom call. Let them see." That their work is not in vain and that they're making an impact and allows other people in the
Yes.
world, and that gives them more security and substance actually for who they really are and what they actually striving to achieve in the world.
Yes, because sometimes um that feedback is what a person needs to just keep going just another day. Keep going because sometimes not being as secure as we
Mm-hmm.
should be, sometimes that we need that. Sometimes we do need that. And I don't care who we are. I don't care how high we have become. We all should take time to let other people know how valuable they are,
That's right.
how
That's right.
what they are doing to contribute not only to your life. I mean, now I one thing that I love about a certain mindset that Keisha and also Regina have is that mindset of not feeling competitive, so competitive that you're not willing to give other people their flowers.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
sometimes we can be so selfish in where we are that we don't want to share our space with other people. We just want the light to shine on us. And
Mm.
what you talk about leadership, Nathaniel, that to me is not what true leadership is about.
Yeah, because how many people's in the world? How many people's in the world right now? Estimate. What do
Oh
you say is how
Lord,
many people's in the world?
billions, billions, billions.
Billions, right? Okay, okay. So if I was to share my platform with you, how would you involve me? And there's billions of people in the world, right?
Wow.
How is it possible that you would actually, feel some type of way because 10,000 of those billion people reach out to you instead of me, right? Right. Are you capable of handling a billion people?
That's a good
If a
way.
billion, yeah, yeah. So if a billion people came into your inbox every day and hit you up, would you be able to respond to all of those people? If you got
If
a billion calls a day,
200 came in every day, 200 different people coming in every day, that would be overwhelming
that
for
would be
me.
overwhelming.
Unless I got a lot of assistance, I would have to get a whole lot of assistance to.
You would have
Uh,
need another billion assistants to actually keep up, right, with the billion, with the
okay,
billion
okay, so
people,
I'll
right?
share. Okay, I'm willing
Yeah,
to share.
yeah, that's right. Because I'm not trying to get overwhelmed. I can't take a billion calls. I can't answer a billion emails. I can't answer a billion texts, right? I can't do it. I'm only one being in the world. I can't do it, right? I have to be able to basically say, I got to delegate some of these people, right? I got to
Right.
show, yeah, I got to show these people that I'm not the mastermind of all things, right? If you go on my website and just buy something, then I can handle you, maybe, right? I might not have enough products and services to handle a billion
Oh
people.
yeah, a billion. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I might not, even if it's a toothpick, right? I might not be able to do it, right? Because I have to
Oh,
go to the manufacturer. I have to actually have that, you know what I'm saying, in my inventory, right? For me to actually accommodate all these different people and all these wants and desires that's out there, we have to be understanding that we cannot accommodate a billion people in our own personal lives. We can't do it. I don't care who you think you
yes.
are. I don't care what you're trying to accomplish. But listen, even if you got the greatest plan on Zoom, you can't do a Zoom with a billion people. Okay?
I love how you just draw this picture of uh different things and make it so real, because that's true. That's one reason why being selfish and thinking that I should have it all, I should have it. And if I did have it all, what would I do with it all? Just
Mm,
if I'm the only one that had it all, you know, and
yeah.
not want to share. Think about, I just think you've got it all. Everything, you got it all. Nobody else has anything. You've got it all.
Mm, that's
Wow.
right. Look at that, right? Because I remember I told you the story about the man that was so happy that no one else was in the world but him because he actually felt like he should be the only one in the world, and he had a pleasure for books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wore glasses, right? And he picked up one book and started reading it, and all of a sudden he dropped the glasses, and the glasses broke, and he's sitting there with millions of books and nowhere to read it because he no longer have any glasses. He can't see. He can't see the writings of the words. right? And when you look at it on a metaphysical level, it is selfish to want to be the only one in the world, but want to read the books of those that was in the world that created.
Yes. Yes. And Keisha said we shouldn't want to be have it that way. We shouldn't want to have it that way. And we shouldn't because um leadership. We're talking about um leadership is life. Security.
Yeah, leadership.
And
Yeah.
so when we and I just think about that as far as the security aspect of that, is that security when you have that kind of mindset? Is that security when you don't want
Mm,
to see other people prosper because you are so selfish that you think that all of it should belong to you? Is that security?
mm,
Is
that's
is
correct.
is that is that really what security is all about? Um, and I think that sometimes we look so outward, and that's what I love about you, Nathaniel, because you're always coming inward. You're always, everything is coming not out here, but it's coming from within. And once we understand that uh everything comes from within, it starts there, it ends there, it starts with you, it starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of this is inward. And that's what I love about Regina. I love about Keisha. I love about you, you know, and other people that we met, all these other
Yeah, or
people.
then or having met that has the same entity, that has the same
Yes.
energy, and that's right. Taisha, it is an episode from the Twilight Zone, right? And yeah, that is, and the
Oh,
Twilight
yeah. That
Zone
was,
is something mystical. Like you don't even know what the Twilight Zone is. It's like, right. That's why they got that music, because you don't even know what that is. It's like you in some type of trance, right? And to believe that you are not responsible for the security of life, to believe that you're the only one that's supposed to survive in the world, right? You're the only one supposed to be on certain platform. You're the only one supposed to achieve certain things. You know what I'm saying? Robs you from your glory of living life to the fullest, because now you're shrinking your circle smaller and smaller. I actually read something the other day about, prominent leaders in the world, and they have a very, very, very small circle, right? They're not
yes.
connected, you know what I'm saying, to the whole world. A lot of people are not really connecting with them on a higher level, right? And a lot of times it's the energy source that they're actually putting out there, right? And they're blocking their blessings from meeting life, right? We're here to meet life. We're here to meet life, to cultivate life, to ensure life, and to bring forth life. That's what we're here for, right? And as soon as we believe, you know what I'm saying, that we are not responsible, as soon as we believe that we're greater, you know what I'm saying, than a plateau of life, you know what I'm saying, we lose a lot of things. We lose a lot of gifts, right? It's a scripture that says the man that believes he knoweth something knoweth not, right? So you think that you know something in the world, you don't know nothing in the world, right? Because you believe that, okay, I know about flowers. Do you know about insects, right? Do you know about the fish that's at the bottom of the sea? You know what I'm saying? Do you know about these things? Do you know how deep it is for you to get to the sea? Have you created something that's going to allow you to reach to the bottom of the ocean, right?
Wow.
What is it that you create? What, the submarine, right? Yeah, that's not even going to let you reach to the bottom of the ocean. It's going to allow you to be in the ocean, but not reach the bottom of the ocean,
Ooh,
right?
Nathaniel, because this is when we talk about knowledge and what we know. Sometimes we think we know it all. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we think we know it all. And I and that is the beginning of not knowing anything at all. That is when you think you know it all, and just like you said, you
Mm-hmm.
you may know a certain depth of it. You may know a little bit of it, but we don't know it all. And so I can learn from you, Nathaniel. I learn from you all the time. And because you are always mentioning authors, and I'd be like, oh, I have to go read that. I have to check that out. Even like that episode from the Twilight Zone. That's what Mrs. Evans were saying about
Hmm.
that episode of the Twilight Zone about the I learned, you
Yeah,
know.
you learn it. You learn it because you want to be appreciative of the things that actually come into your life, and that's also including the people in the world, right?
Yes.
You know, it's like going on a trip, right? And you go into this famous restaurant and nobody's there but the workers. That's not going to be a great experience. There's no families. There's no families at the other table. No one's laughing. No one's joking. No one's making a proposal to another person. No one's going over a business meeting or a business lunch or anything like that. You're gonna be like, why am I in this dead space? This space is so dead. Why am
No
I here? I thought this
energy,
was a
no
no
energy.
energy. I thought this place was famous. I thought people travel all over the world to go to this place. Is do they have like a certain time when people come in, like 2 o'clock? Like I might be early, but I might have to leave and then come back because I don't want to be the only one here, right? Experiencing your special dish, right? You got a famous chef in the back, but no one came to the restaurant to eat the food. No, I don't want nothing either. I'm good. I don't want nothing to eat
Right,
either,
right,
right?
right,
Because
right.
something's going on with the food. Maybe I didn't read the newspaper this morning when they was talking about, the food at this restaurant sucks, right? So when you go to the place and you say you're having a great experience in the world, right? You want to you want to feel that experience. If I go to Hawaii, I'm looking for those fake flowers that go on my neck, right? I'm looking for the people that be standing there dancing and stuff, waiting for me to come through, right? That's one of the experiences,
Ah,
right? That I'm looking forward to. I'm not trying to be the only one to get off the planet Hawaii and I don't get the fake flowers, right? I'm not, no one's dancing for me. I'm not hearing any music or anything like that. I don't want to be that only person, right?
yes,
So
yes.
we need the energy source of one another, and I believe that the more that you increase, is a scripture that says, "In the day of your wealth, stored up 6 places, even 7 places, because you know not which way the wind blows." It's basically telling you that when you have wealth stored up in the right places, amongst the right people, because you don't know when you're gonna get rocked off your ship. You don't know when a wind gonna blow and blow away a lot of the materialisms that you have actually collected in the land, right? And who is actually gonna come back to you and say, "Yo, man, listen, man, I see you going broke. Let me give you this $2 million because when I was at my wits end, when I was in the dirt, you came and helped me. You actually showed me a solution to my problems. You know what I'm saying? You actually paid off a debt for me that actually allowed me to stay increased and to move forward, right? Storing up your blessings in the land is gonna store you up.
And Nathaniel, sometimes you don't even know the person that you had an impact on that will provide that. Sometimes, and this is what I have learned in my experience, it's not the people sometimes that you have helped. You know, here's that karma again. Here's that laying up treasures again. And you don't do it thinking, oh, okay, this is going to, this is the reason I'm doing it because I want to this person to give me back. And you don't do that for that. But it's just a law. It's a
It's
law.
just a law of nature. It's a law
It's
of
a
nature.
law.
If you go to an animal that you don't know, right? And you say, "How you doing today? What's going on with you?" Right? And you rub the animal and stuff like that. The animal will give you life back, right? If it's not a violent animal, if it's a humble animal, no one's telling you to go and pet a cobra snake. You know what I'm saying? We teach, right? Don't be simplistic. Keep it simple,
They say
right?
Nathaniel told me.
Nah, I don't want you to get that message from me. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay away from the cobra snake. You know what I'm saying? What if you do that to an animal that you know from life itself that's not violent, you know what I mean? That's not going to basically harm you. It's going to give you back life. And if you ever see that animal again, it's going to recognize who you are. It's going to pick up
Yes.
your scent. You know what I'm saying? It's going
Yes.
to pick up your energy, and it's going to be like, oh, this right here is a friend to me, right? This
Right.
person was kind to me. This person gave me something to eat, or went and got me something to
Right.
drink, right?
That's
Because
why.
you're giving back.
Yes. Yes,
You're giving back
Nathaniel.
life. You're giving back what you are, right? You're not a police officer. You're not a firefighter. You're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. You're not an entrepreneur. You're not a coach. You're a life force. That's what you are. You're not
Yes.
any of these things. Don't let no one deceive you to make you think that you're categorized to a certain concept in life, that you have to fall into this certain pattern of life, right? You may
Yes.
say that you're a coach, you may say that you're a leader, right? But you don't know what capacity the world's going to use you as a coach. It's going to use you as a leader. You don't even know if you're a doctor that you only a doctor because you actually going to basically do a medical breakthrough and save millions of lives when you're no longer here. This is the reason why you were appointed a doctor, because you have the insight to do open heart surgery. You know what I'm saying? You had the insight to get in certain places in the brain, you know what I'm saying, where the neurological systems was so hard to get to before, but you found out a way to actually get to it because you actually invented some type of laser surgery, right? And when you're dead and gone, your great granddaughter actually experiences something with the brain, and actually her life is saved by that experiment. You know what I'm saying? By that thing that
Yes.
you actually created, and now she's able to preserve her life and move on her life because my great grandfather, you know what I'm saying, actually created this.
And some people don't even realize how much of a leader they are, Nathaniel. Some people think, so, don't understand how powerful we all are, the power that we have been given, that we can activate at any time and leave that legacy, like you were saying, that's a powerful legacy. But it started with that one thought, with that one person, and then it expanded. That
Mm-hmm.
surgeon, look at how
Yeah, it's
far.
like it's yeah. Look how far did it reach. You know what I mean? Like I was watching a movie one time and talking about this person made this shotgun, right? Shotgun was made in the factory. Some man came with the idea, I'm gonna make a shotgun. He made a shotgun, and it shows you the history of the shotgun from generation to generation to generation to generation, and it showed you what this shotgun was used for. Right? It was used for robberies. It was used to shoot people. It was used to scare people. It was used to put people into their place. It was used to fight wars. Right? It had a healthy history in the land. Right? And it also showed how that shotgun came back against he that actually created that shotgun later
Wow.
on throughout the
Wow.
generations. Right?
Wow.
Because whatever we create, we need to know that there's a seed in the land, you know what I mean? And it will produce a seed. Whether you're here or not, that seed will be produced, right?
Right. And
You know,
so
so
that's why it's important that the seeds that we're planting, that they are seeds of that it will not tear, you know, but wheat, that
yeah,
it would be
yeah,
nourishing to
yeah,
whoever is served from our planting those seeds, not planting seeds of disharmony, not planting seeds of hate, not planting seeds of discord, not planting those seeds that we know will destroy humanity, but planting seeds that we know will be nourishing to the mind and
uh,
to the body.
yeah, because the earth, when you look at the earth is no respecter of persons. I say
That's
that to
right.
say this: whatever you plant in the earth is going to produce. Whatever seed you create and you plant it in the earth is going to produce according to the nature of that seed. Understand this. If it's peace you plant, you're going to get peace. If it's harm you plant, you're going to find harm, right? It's just like when I was a young man, I go to the club with my friends, and before we get to the club, they're like, yo, as soon as somebody say something to me, or somebody bump into me, or something like that, it's on. We're going to be fighting in there. And I said, listen, man, you shouldn't be going to the club with that energy before we even got to the club yet. We didn't even get to the event yet, and you already got this negative energy. And the
Yes.
next thing you know, that person's he's fighting in the club. And I'm
That's what
saying,
he's
yeah, because
looking for.
you projected that. You projected that in your leadership. Your leadership is your life, right? That's your leadership is your life. It's not all these different things that you say you're doing or what you're going to do. It is your life because you're able to conceive. You're able to bring about awareness according to your life. That's your leadership. That's where it stems from, and that's where it's going to end, right?
Yes.
This is a sound purpose. Real quick, I read a book. It was about a lady. She was a real estate developer, right? And she created this big system, man. And these men came against her and tricked her in a deal and stole all of her properties, right? And she was at rock bottom again. She had no more property. She had a little bit of wealth, but she had no more property. They destroyed her. And at the end of the book, she was in a limousine and she was driving. And when she was driving, she looked over and she saw this big abandoned property. And she said, I could start over right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. She turned and looked and said, that's my new beginning. You know what I mean? I don't have to
Goodness.
worry about what I lost before. I could just say, I'm going to start right here. I'm probably going to be amongst a whole different
Yes.
set of players, right? And I'm going to try
Yes.
to protect myself financially and on a legal level to make sure this thing doesn't happen to me again, right? That
Yes.
was the emphasis of that book. It's a visualization of who you are, of what you can become, and what barriers you can break through in regards of who tried to step on you in the past, how they hurt you in the past, what they robbed from you in the past. You can always recreate those same realities because you created the first ones in the first place.
Yes. And even better, because now you know the pitfalls. Now,
Ah,
yes, now you know what to avoid. You know what you want to attract into your life. You know what you don't want. So now you know how to avoid that. You can learn from those lessons of the past in order to even be, and that's why we sometimes we hang on to the past. We hang on to what was yesterday instead of just learning the
but
lessons.
why is that? Why is that something that we do? Why do
We
you
don't
think that's something that we do?
because we don't see that we have the power to build a new reality, that
That's
we
that's
we
that's the reality.
we hang on to sometimes things from the past and the pain because we are comfortable with that, and we don't want to go into something that is we're not familiar with, is new territory, you know, even though the past is miserable, and it was miserable, but at least we know it,
Yeah,
we
that's right. It's a tangible reality. It's something that we think that we can remix, that we can recreate, you know what I mean? And it's something that's known to us. You know what I'm saying? So we go back into the past because it's a knowing entity. It's something that we can actually rely on, right? When we at our rock bottom, we can say, well, in 2010, I was a millionaire, right? We could try to make sense of the world we have now, or basically disown the world we have now by going into a time when we had, right, going into a time when we was more courageous, right, when we had more substance, when we had more purpose for our lives, right. But it's just like Eckhart Tolle said in his book, the power of life is the power of now. It has nothing to do with the past or with the future, because both of those things are receding, right? We don't know the future because it's not here yet, right? We don't know the past because it has already left us. It's no longer in a race. It's gone.
And when we get to the future, it's now.
That's correct. That's
So,
correct. Yeah,
with,
that's correct. With that, that's our time. We want, Jeannie gonna take us out. And it was great to, see everybody. Hope this podcast resonate with people. They can use it, for their lives. Reach out to us. We're always looking for new guests on our podcast. And our guests didn't show up today. We don't know why, but we just keep it moving. We're in the power of now. We just do what we have to do now. And whatever comes or doesn't come, it really has nothing to do with us. Right.
that's right. That's right.
And that's how we're gonna leave that.
And thank you so much for everyone that was here today. And I want to take us into a restful, relaxing time. So, what I want everyone to do, close your eyes, close your eyes, take a deep breath, take a deep breath, and let it out slowly. Take a deep breath, thankful for where we are now, thankful for the air that we're breathing now, thankful for the people that we have in our life now, thankful for life. Relax. Relax the top of your head. Relax your face. Come on down your body. Relax your shoulders. Relax. Relax your arms. Coming on down to your fingers. Relax. Take a deep breath. Let it out slow. Come on down your body, relaxing each muscle as you go. Relax your legs. Relax. Relax your toes. Wiggle your toes. Relax. Relax. You are secure in the knowledge that life is worthy. Relax. I will count from 5 backwards. Take a deep breath and let it out slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes slowly. Take a deep breath and let it out slow. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Good day to everyone.